as governor-elect of Osun. INEC, NCS parley to actualize voting modalities for prisoners. Former Sri Lankan Prime Minister, good evening and welcome to the major reports. I am Kayode Adebayo. The Independent National Electoral Commission says it is committed to improved performance with a view to ensuring that people's votes count by making elections free, fair, and credible in future polls. INEC National Commissioner Professor Kunle Ajayi made the remark while presenting certificate of returns to the Governor-elect of Osun State, Senator Ademola Adeleke. Oluchi Amuda has more on the report.
Completion of the Osun State governorship election, and the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC has issued a certificate of return to the governor-elect, Senator Ademola Adeleke, and the deputy governor-elect, Prince Kola Adewusi. In his remarks at the event, the INEC Supervising National Electoral Commissioner, Professor Kunle Ajayi, commended the people of the state for the peaceful way they conducted themselves, saying the voter turnout was large with no major electoral violence incidents recorded. Professor Ajayi noted that the introduction of innovative technologies and processes such as the use of biomodal voter accreditation system (BVAS), INEC election result viewing portal, election risk management tool, among others, significantly helped the Commission towards delivering seamless voter experiences.
With the successful conduct of the Osun State governorship election, the Commission would like to assure Nigerians that this has become the standard of election management in Nigeria. On the part of INEC, as an electoral umpire, under the able leadership of the Honorable Chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, we are consistent in achieving our vision to become one of the best election management bodies in the world and acting on our core values, which are independence, impartiality, neutrality, and transparency.
In his welcome address, Osun State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Professor Abdulgani Oraji, who stated that the election was conducted with utmost credibility, thanked the electorate for believing in the commission. He tasked politicians to always ensure they fulfill their electoral promises to the masses.
Our democracy will be stronger if we come together to do the right thing at the right time and for the people who are actually the beneficiaries of the democracy. This includes campaigning with fulfillable promises, modeling positive attitude and behavior by the laws, fulfilling campaign promises, doing away with money politics. The electorates are not asking for too much, just basic amenities to make everything life easy.
The event climaxed with the presentation of certificate of return to the governor-elect, Senator Ademola Adeleke, and the deputy governor-elect, Prince Kola Adewusi. In his acceptance speech, Senator Adeleke, who expressed appreciation to the people of the state for trusting him with their votes, assured that he will never take their trust for granted.
I'm overwhelmed by your love and support, and I do not take this trust you have bestowed on me for granted.
The event has in attendance members of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, ISIS, chieftains of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, PDP members at the National Assembly, among others. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
As the 2022 governorship election in Osun State finally climaxed with the presentation of certificate of returns to governor-elect Senator Ademola Adeleke and the deputy governor-elect Prince Kola Adewusi, OSBC News reporter Oluchi Amuda brings a recap of last Saturday election in our report of the week.
The recently conducted governorship election in Osun State was perhaps the most anticipated election of the year, not only because it was the last major off-cycle election before the 2023 general election, but also because it was the first major election after the Ekiti State governorship election. The election witnessed the deployment of lots of human and material resources, most especially from the electoral umpire, the Independent National Electoral Commission, the police and her sister agencies across the country, the civil society organizations, both local and international election observers groups, and the media, among others. Every major organization in Nigeria had its staff in Osun State who monitored and reported the election process in all parts of the state to the entire world. At the end of the voting exercise, sorting of ballot papers, counting of election results, and its collation at the various collation centers, attention shifted to the INEC headquarters in Osogbo, where the results were being announced. From members of the public that followed the process live at the comfort of their homes, to members of the press who want to be the first to break the news, as well as the accredited party agents who wants to defend the votes given to their party by the electorate. Everyone waited with bated breath while INEC continued to announce the results as they are uploaded to the INEC server through the INEC Election Results Viewing Portal. At the end of the exercise, candidates of the People's Democratic Party PDP, Senator Ademola Adeleke, polled a total number of 403,371 votes, while the APC had 375,027 votes, as announced by INEC.
I declare that Adeleke Ademola Jackson Nuruddin, on behalf of the chairman of INEC of PDP, having satisfied the requirement of the law, is hereby declared a winner, and he is become elected.
The election has continued to generate reactions from members of the public from the various political parties who commended INEC for the improvement recorded through the use of technology. In their separate interviews with OSBC News, a member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Taiwo Oluga, and a chieftain of the APC in Osun, Oluomo Sunday Akiri, as well as some members of the People's Democratic Party, including Mr. Diron Odeyemi and Mr. Oladele Bamiji, noted that INEC deserved an applause for the success of the election.
Thank you to the leaders and members of the National Assembly for assenting, even Mr. President for assenting to the bill to make this election process easier than what it used to be.
For the noticeable improvement that we witnessed with the introduction of the beavers, we can discover that at least the election is a bit more orderly.
The beavers is a machine that does not allow rigging.
The digitalization of the process, right from the even just ordinary party agency of the party, of each political party, that system has been digitalized such that party agents had to be front-loaded to a particular or a dedicated INEC portal. You know, unlike what we used to have in the past, whereby a day to the election, some hours to the election, party will be, will be scampering around, looking for who to be their agents.
They, however, identified some areas that INEC has to improve upon during future elections.
Next, there are some questions to answer. In a situation where elections are being conducted in a unit by 10:30 p.m. in the night, INEC may need to tell us why this happened. And the argument the INEC person has been given is that he has people on the line by 2:30, and he has to. That's why they have to extend voting till 11 p.m.
We need to improve on the voters' education on that, so that people will know the disadvantage. There's no advantage at all in selling your vote, selling your rights. It's full of disadvantages. So
there will always be room for an improvement. Timeliness of that logistic deployment, INEC should consider the distance, especially. Yes, Osun State is a bit compact, but I know there will be some other areas, even in this state, that are a bit far from the state capital. And even the beavers system too, INEC should please consider going forward the voting strength or voting population of each unit.
Analysts have expressed optimism that with the improvement recorded in the recently conducted governorship election in Osun State, the 2023 general election will record more success and Nigerians will be better for it. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
Meanwhile, the declaration of Senator Ademola Adeleke as the new governor-elect of Osun State on the platform of People's Democratic Party by the Independent National Electoral Commission may be challenged in the law court. It was learned that the APC has hired senior advocates in the legal profession and legal icons in the state to challenge the PDP's victory in court if anomalies are detected in the results announced by INEC on the outcome of the just concluded governorship election. Informed sources hinted that some of the legal practitioners to be engaged for the assignment had been contacted and are now mapping out strategies on how the matter will be approached. Already, the legal team is said to have started with a thorough scrutiny of some results from the polling units with intention of challenging them in court if irregularities are discovered at the end of the day. An outstanding legal icon in the party and the Director General of Oyetola's campaign organization in the last election, Senator Ajibola Bashiru, confirmed the development. The legal luminary also hinted that in no distant time, they will forward a letter to the electoral body to demand for certified true copies of results sheets for them to compare them with the ones signed by polling agents, adding that he will reserve further comments on the matter until they are thorough with the preliminary legal work. The Independent National Electoral Commission and the Nigerian Correctional Service have begun discussions to address encumbrances to the participation of inmates in the electoral process. Both organizations agreed that it was high time inmates were granted voting rights in compliance with an existing High Court judgment in Benin, which ruled in favor of inmate voting. The agreement to work towards actualizing voting inmates came when the Comptroller General of the NCS, Aliru Nababa, represented by the Deputy Comptroller in charge of operations, Daniel Odaro, led a team to visit INEC headquarters in Abuja. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu affirmed the Commission was committed to inclusivity, including the right of inmates to vote during the elections. He pointed out that the inmate voting rights have been recognized by Kenya and South Africa in the African continent, and Nigeria was ready to choose a similar path. Professor Yakubu harped on the need to address the issues militating against inmate voting as soon as possible, as he pointed out that the 2023 general elections was 7 months away. Nigerians have called on the federal government and other stakeholders in the education sector to find a lasting solution to the demands of the Academic Staff Union of the universities. Those who made the call in separate interviews with OSBC News expressed concern for the future of education system and the Nigerian students. Our reporter, Oluwatobiloba Odunuga, has the details.
Industrial action embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Universities has become a major source of grave concern to Nigerians who fear that the education may be heading towards total collapse if urgent steps are not taken to address the issue raised by ASU. The union commenced the warning strike on the 14th of February and extended it when the federal government failed to respond to its agitations rather than a meaningful engagement with the union to resolve the impasse. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngigi, and his counterpart, now former Minister of State for Education, Chukwuemeka Nwajiba, failed to find solutions to the ASU strike under their watches. President Muhammadu Buhari recently gave the Minister for Education, Malam Adamu Adamu, a 2-week ultimatum to find solution to the ASU strike, reacting to the 2 weeks ultimatum given by President Buhari to the Minister for Education. Respondents, including a public affairs analyst, Dr. Soji Akinpelu, and a legal practitioner, Mr. Bukola Onifade, expressed worry over the future of education in Nigeria, saying it remains bleak. They noted that it is unfortunate that the presumed leaders of the country are wasting away due to no fault of theirs.
Future of education in this Nigeria, we need somebody who loves education. And even if we cannot see somebody who loves education, he should have people who love education surrounding him, so that the future will be better. But the way I'm looking at it, I'm weeping for Nigerian students.
Is something the president should have resolved for a very long time. I pity the students. They have been at home for months, if not years now. And then the president has not done anything reasonable to resolve the issue.
They call on President Muhammadu Buhari to stop paying lip service to the issue and take urgent steps to save the already collapsed sector. They equally spoke on the need for ASU to show genuine commitment to their job by reaching compromise with the government.
When you are talking about security, education, economy, and so many other things, this is a total failure. So if it's not waking up today now and say, okay, we want to resolve the issue, it's a welcome development, and we believe that we are going to see a positive result in that regard.
They also enjoin the youth to learn trades, crafts, and go into vocational training so as to equip themselves, while they express optimism that the 2 weeks ultimatum given to the Minister of Education by President Muhammadu Buhari will help achieve better results. Oluwa Tobiloba Odunuga, reporting for OSBC News.
In related development, the Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, got marching orders from President Muhammadu Buhari to end industrial action by university-based unions. The President also directed the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngigi, to answer negotiations with the Academic Staff Union of Universities. The President met with some ministers and heads of federal government agencies involved in the negotiation at the presidential villa. He directed that the ongoing negotiation between the federal government and ASU must be finalized within 2 to 3 weeks. He ordered Adamu to henceforth coordinate, lead talks, and harmonize terms with ASU immediately. Adamu was also mandated to meet with the National Salaries and Wages Commission to work out payment details for the striking lecturers. ASU said it was open to considering the 100% pay rise being proposed by the federal government. The union, however, said the government was yet to reach out to it on the new pay offer. Bread makers under the aegis of Premium Bread Makers Association of Nigeria have begun a 4-day warning strike over rising cost of baking materials in the country. In a statement by the association spokesperson, Babalola Thomas, he stated that the action will be extended if the government fails to intervene. Mr. Thomas said their bakeries are incurring a huge loss due to the continuous increase in baking materials and diesel. He added that operating in an environment such as this is no longer sustainable, and that bread is a staple food and one of the cheapest grab-and-go food that is available for both the poor and the rich, adding that it behoves the federal government to be mindful of this and ensure the survival and sustainability of the industry. According to him, the association has decided to embark on a withdrawal of services beginning from tomorrow for 4 days. In the first instance, and from the government, it will escalate the duration of withdrawal. The national power grid has collapsed again. The Eco Electricity Distribution Company confirmed that the grid collapse occurred at about noon today. In the statement, they said talks with Transmission Company of Nigeria have begun in order to ascertain the cause of the collapse and a possible restoration timeline. The collapse of the national power grid made it the 6th time this year that the grid had collapsed. Nigeria's power grid had collapsed twice in March and twice again in April this year, as the power generation on the system had continued to fluctuate due to various concerns such as gas constraints, water constraints, water management challenges, and gas pipeline vandalism, among others. The collapse in March made the federal government summon a meeting of stakeholders to address the issue. However, in April, it was reported that the quantum of electricity on the grid crashed from over 3,000 megawatts to as low as 10 megawatts around the same day. The report further stated that another collapse of the grid occurred in the same month as the nation's power system collapsed to 33 megawatts after it had earlier posted a peak generation of 3,281.50 megawatts. The collapse is expected to, as usual, halt electricity supply to some parts of the country. The federal government has urged Nigerians to avoid non-essential travels to locations where the outbreak of Marburg virus disease has been reported for the time being. This advisory came from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, as the Ghanaian authorities declared an outbreak of the MVD, which was confirmed by the World Health Organization. While the NCDC stated the overall risk of both importations of the impact on the Nigerian population is moderate, it urged Nigerians to avoid direct contact with blood, saliva, vomit, fluids of people with suspected or confirmed Marburg virus disease. Also, the animal reservoir of the disease, which is the fruit bats and other sick animals, are to be avoided. You are welcome to our sports segment. Argentina forward Paulo Dybala has signed for Jose Mourinho's Roma on a 3-year deal-free transfer. Oluwaranti Ojewumi has more details on the sports news.
Bassi has completed his move to Ajax for a Rangers club record fee of £19.6 million. The Nigerian defender, 22, has signed a 5-year deal with the Dutch champions. Bassi joined Rangers from Leicester City for a modest compensation fee in 2020 and emerged as a key player last season. Bassi made 15 appearances as Rangers won their first top 5 title in a decade. Rangers reached the Europa League final and won the Scottish Cup. Bassi now joins up with Ajax at their training camp in Austria, with the Amsterdam club kicking off the defense of their title on 6 August, a week after the met PSV in Johan Cruyff. Also, Barcelona have signed Poland striker Robert Lewandowski from Bayern Munich on a 4-year contract worth €50 million. The 33-year-old had 1 year left on his contract with the German champions, but says his story with Bayern is over. He has joined his new teammates in Miami as part of Barcelona's 4-match tour of the United States. Lewandowski joined Bayern on a free transfer in 2014 after his departure from Borussia Dortmund. He scored 50 goals in 46 games last season as he played Bayern win a 10th straight Bundesliga title. Lewandowski has scored 344 times in 374 games for the club and is the second highest scorer of all time behind Gerd Müller. He has won the league in all 8 of his seasons at Bayern and also won the Champions League in 2019-2020. Lewandowski is Barcelona's first signing of the summer. Meanwhile, Argentina forward Paulo Dybala has signed for Jose Mourinho's Roma on a free transfer. The 28-year-old attacker joins on a 3-year deal with his contract with Juventus having ended in June. Dybala scored 115 goals in 293 appearances for the Turin-based club after joining from Parma in 2015 and won 5 Serie A titles. Dybala has 3 goals in 34 international appearances for Argentina and scored in a 3-0 win over Italy in 2022 at Wembley in June. Roma finished 6th in Serie A last season in their first campaign under Mourinho, who also guided them to the Europa Conference League title. Oluwaranti Ojewumi for OSBC News.
And on the foreign scene, former Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Ranil Wickremesinghe, has been elected president with major votes from the legislators despite disapproval from the protesters. Oluwatomisin Oyeyemi has details of this and more from our foreign desk.
Members of Parliament have elected Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe as the country's new president, despite his unpopularity with the public. Mr. Wickremesinghe roundly defeated his main rival for the job, Dulas Alhapenuma, with 134 votes to 82 in a parliamentary vote. Mr. Wickremesinghe is viewed by many as a shrewd political operator who's managed to cling on in parliament despite his party losing all but one of their seats in the 2020 election. His victory means he will serve out the rest of the presidential term until November 2024. The president-elect is aiming to restore political stability to the country so it can resume negotiations with the International Monetary Fund for a bailout package. Meanwhile, Syria, a close ally of Russia, has announced it is formally breaking diplomatic ties with Ukraine in response to a similar move by Kyiv late last month, when Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Kyiv would cut ties after Syria recognized the Russian-backed breakaway republics of Donetsk and Luhansk in eastern Ukraine. The Syrian Foreign Ministry has said Ukraine had first ruptured relations in 2018 by refusing to revalidate the residencies of its diplomatic staff in Kyiv, making it impossible for them to carry out their duties. It added that the Syrian embassy at that time suspended its duties as a result of the hostile attitudes of the Ukrainian government. Elsewhere, President Joe Biden has announced that the United States will bring together leaders from across the African continent for a major summit in Washington, D.C. this year to discuss pressing challenges from food security to climate change. The summit will demonstrate the United States' enduring commitments to Africa and will underscore the importance of U.S.-Africa relations and increased cooperation on shared global priorities. The U.S.-African Leaders Summit was announced simultaneously in virtual remarks by Vice President Kamala Harris to the U.S.-Africa Business Summit in Marrakesh, Morocco. The latter event is being hosted by the Corporate Council on Africa and the Kingdom of Morocco. Oluwatomisin Oyeyemi for OSBC News.
And that ends the major report on OSBC TV. Thanks for watching. Good night.
proverbial apple that never falls far from the tree. So here's the behavior of an individual. If to rest, it's never far from the parent.
That was Sophie. She stays on this estate. So she's called now to ask if I could give her a lift to the office tomorrow, since our offices are just a few blocks away.
Gabriel up to something again? No, it's my husband. So? And that there's fire on the mountain. You know me, oh. When I mean there's fire on the mountain, there's fire on the mountain, oh. Tochi, you're scaring me. What is going on? We're meant to go on a vacation. And then Priya suddenly brought in Gabriel, only to tell me that he's going to be watching over the kids without consulting me. Tochi, be careful. When I say be careful, I mean be careful.
Tracy's.
I don't care. It's young. If you tell you, how your health now?
I'm not feeling any kudo.
You don't even need to tell me. I can see.
Sam, that woman in Wikoro, you see my face. He beat Anthony just why he punched me here.
Omo, the woman deal with you. Sorry, but you say the woman wicked. How she say wicked? Now the way to your mouth bring on top you be this. I not tell you. You talk. Everybody you see, you insult. You just insult people for no reason. Now you are saying she's wicked. She's not wicked. She's not wicked.
You come here to talk. I know what that's what you say. You this Mr. Advocate.
It's not been an advocate, too. My guy. Once it's come to the truth, you don't say, Namia, I will tell you the truth. See, I'm your only friend. I will tell you the truth. It is what the problem your mouth brought to you. See, one side you did now. And you speak, your mouth even nowhere, you stay quiet.
You come to be reading Constitution in this place, or you come to help me. Instead of you to come and help me go and boil what I think, come and read Constitution here for me.
Help you? See, I have come to help. I have come to help you. I will go now and make hot water, as in very hot water, to come and massage your face. I will.
No, don't go and make that water too hot. Go and make it look warm.
You say?
Look warm.
It's lukewarm, not rook.
Give me, go.
Oh, yes. Yes, did they pay you?
Oh,
did I keep you? Sorry, I go. Magum.
So you mean that copper babe? She comes there every morning to resume. In my own sister's matrimonial home. Ah, what's rubbish?
But the thing is that I think her place of work and daddy's office is a bit closer. So she comes every morning so that daddy will drop her off. You know all these commercial bosses and their wahala. I don't blame her. No.
Sorry for you. What do you know? With this your small head, what do you know? Before you know it, you will have a stepmother. And she will show you Pepe, yes. She will show you Pepe. Oh, don't know anything.
The thing is just that even if it's any other person that comes to dad for the offer, I'm sure daddy would have accepted. Why are they seeing this thing as a big deal?
Oh, you are still taking sides. You have not seen anything. Daddy will have assisted. So daddy is to do Samaritan. Definitely, your papa will say, you do. If it was to be my own husband. If it is to be my own husband, I will deal with her. I will pieces her. I will bury her alive. I will even parboil her before I bury her. Yes, now.
But Carol, you're not yet married now.
Oh, do you want to insult me? I can buy as many wedding rings as I want. I fly them. I buy my own diamonds. I buy my own rings. So it's not your business. After all, I'm an expert. When it comes to married, singles, and divorcees, I advise them. I make their life perfect. So you're just a small rat. So let's go back to business and let's resolve how we'll deal with that copper babe, okay?
Yeah, I think that Mom bounces on I and Tamuno. Very little provocations. This thing is bringing a lot of drama in the house. It's not funny at all.
That is where I come in. So I will settle everything amicably. And I will settle it perfectly. Trust me for that.
Okay, but Carol, please, don't tell Mommy. Don't tell her that I told you.
The secrets are safe with me. Trust me when you care. Don't worry.
Hey, what's up? You see, I just wanted to talk to you. I saw you coming like this. I was like, Ow! Ow! Agatha! Agatha! Hold on. Hold on with you. Give me. Go away. Wait, I carry you. Just take me in the hospital.
Caro. Hey! Oh, Malija. Hey! Now, wow, see your face. How are you?
I'm fine. So all these type of things are happening, and you don't tell me anything. It's unfair, my sister.
Oh, Guinea.
It's unfair. You think I don't know? You locked yourself upstairs. You are thinking.
I was sitting there for a very long time, and I knew you were thinking. Why? How come? Where did you go wrong?
Carol, no vex, oh. Pico, no vex. You know I can't possibly bother you or even discuss my personal matters with you. It's not proper.
If you don't discuss your personal matter with me, then whom will you discuss with? We are blood sisters. If anything happens to you, I'm the first person to know. So why did you do that? In short, I'm angry. I feel like tearing her into shreds. I'm mad.
It's okay. See, now you are here. And now that you are here, I'm even happy because I know that you're going to put smiles on my face again. And come to think of it, I'm very sure that with you around, all the burden in my heart will be lifted. Just calm down. And come to think of it, Carol, how did you even find out about this? Because I didn't tell anybody in the estate. I will know. Shebi is me. I have informants.
Oh, okay. Oh, now I understand. Aproko. I knew it. You see this mouth of yours? This your tiny little mouth. I'm going to make sure I pluck it out of your brains, out of that skull of yours. Only God knows how many people you must have gone to tell about this whole situation. No. Oh. Okay. Okay. But my sister, you are too harsh on these children. And this is transferred aggression.
I know it is. And I'm really, really sorry that I have to do this for the children. But what would you have me do, Carol? Tell me, what would you have me do? You don't know what this man is making me go through. Carol, you don't know the pain that this man is giving me. If only you knew, then you would know that I should even go overboard.
Bikono. But that small rat is really annoying. And did you tell Auntie Ada about all those things?
Well, when the whole matter started, I told Ada about it. But what do you expect? Ada does not do anything about such situation. The only thing she ever tells me is, be calm, stay patient. That's all she ever says.
Hey, patient. And in this type of situation, as in, I'm an expert. I will beat her to stupor. I will tear her into shreds. In fact, I will use that stone wall. But you won't bring that nonsense. For where are they? Hey, you are the para. She dey crazy, she don't look face. Oh my. In fact, I will show her